All right, everybody. Welcome to the Franchise Empire newsletter for this week. Tarek is out of town with his family on vacation, which I hope he's enjoying. So my name's Kevin. I'm on the brokerage team. I'm going to head up the newsletter today. So let me share my screen here. If I can figure this out. Okay. And if anybody's tuning in, please feel free to hop in the comments and ask a question. I'll be able to cover that. But for today, we're going to go through a few things here. And let me just zoom in a little bit here. And if you're not subscribed to the actual newsletter, you can go to www.franchiseempire.com/newsletter to sign up for the actual email newsletter. And of course, Tarek and I usually every Monday cover these together on this live session. So today, in 5 minutes, we're going to go through a painting franchise with $3.8 million in sales. We're going to talk about a service-based resale franchise that's for sale in Pennsylvania. We'll talk about a quick case study and then talk about the upcoming podcast on Tarek's show. So let's dive into the featured resale for this week. So this one comes from a franchise called Rainbow International Restoration. So they do water damage, fire, mold, every type of restoration service. They're actually one of the oldest restoration companies in the country. They're also a Neighborly franchise. So you've probably heard us talk about Neighborly brands before, but Neighborly is a large umbrella company that has about 24 home services franchises underneath its umbrella. So Rainbow is the restoration franchise under the Neighborly brand. They've been around since 1981 and have 315 franchise units throughout North America. So again, like I mentioned, their primary services include mold removal, cleanup services, water damage restoration, and smoke and fire damage restoration. This particular resale is in State College, Pennsylvania. It was established in 2015, so it's been in business for almost 10 years. The asking price is $800,000, so pretty well-established business. What's interesting on this one is the owner is retiring, but the owner has been in an advisory role for a long period of time. They have a general manager, a full-time general manager in place. So if this is, if you are looking for more of a semi-passive opportunity, this could be something that you could take over and, keep the general manager on staff. 2023 revenue for this one was $960,000. And they will provide more financial details upon signing a non-disclosure agreement. And they did say also they would include like a list of all the hard assets that would be included in the sale. So this one, again, really established franchise. This particular location's been around for close to 10 years. They have a manager in place. And so, if you look at the FDD for Rainbow Restoration, the average gross sales for the top 25% of locations is $2.66 million. So those are locations that have been open for at least a year. And then overall, for all of the locations that were disclosed, the average was $1.03 million. So pretty strong numbers there across the board. And, like I said, this one does have that general manager in place. So if you are interested in something more semi-passive, this could be a decent opportunity to pursue. But for this resale or any resales for that matter, you can go to franchiseempire.com/resales. You can submit your information. We can check on available resales in your specific market. If you're open to various markets or various types of franchises, we can do a pretty broad check for you. So feel free to go in there and submit your information. You'll speak with either myself or somebody on our team, about what you're looking for. And then we can potentially do a search for you based on your criteria. So let's go to the client case study for this week. So we talked about, let's see here. So we helped a client purchase a painting franchise back in October of 2023. And this one, we've actually talked about this before, but they both kept their job. So husband and wife team, they kept their job. and they're managing it semi-passively. So what's cool is they hired a pretty good sales manager to kind of run the day-to-day sales for them. And that person, they trained them up well, and they're just crushing it in terms of sales. So they've been able to grow their business pretty considerably from a semi-passive standpoint. Now that's definitely like more difficult to do, and it just kind of shows like you have to have those key hires in place at the start when you're talking about doing something semi-passively. But they've done a great job. They've actually continued to come on our weekly group coaching calls with Tarek and get coaching from him. He's helped with adjusting things like the amount of deposit they're collecting up front to help with cash flow. So they've done a great job. We're not going to name the franchise just to maintain compliance there, but that one, you could talk to us. We can give you more details about that specific client case study. The franchise of the week is called Lime Painting. So Lime Painting is also a painting franchise, as you imagine. They do residential and commercial painting. They started franchising in 2018. They're not part of any umbrella or parent company, so they're kind of a standalone franchise, but they have about 80 units throughout the country. And the total investment for Lime Painting is between 126 and 227. So I do believe for this one, they do recommend you have W-2 painters on staff, but I do think you can subcontract the painting work if you wanted to at the start. But Lime Painting, I guess their biggest differentiator is how they structure their territories and the target market they go after. So they are going after the higher end market, and they go after higher household income levels. So, they're going to structure territories to hit a certain number of households that meet a certain income threshold. And those are specifically the households they're going to target in their marketing. So digital marketing, print and mailers. So they're going to do high-end properties, is really kind of their distinction and what they're trying to do. And they want to provide a really high-end quality service to their customers. And so if you look at the item 19, it's actually pretty interesting here how they break it down. So top 25% of owners are averaging 2.5 million in sales, as you can see here. For all the franchises disclosed, they're averaging around 1.09 million in sales. The median 734,000. And then if you look at the average project amount, which is kind of crazy. So the top 25% are averaging 88,000 per project. So that's very reflective in their marketing and who they're trying to target. They're going after bigger projects, higher end projects. Overall, the system-wide average for a project is $26,921. So these are big ticket price projects. You can do both interior and exterior. They also add on things like drywall repair, carpentry, and gutters. I imagine those are things you're going to add as you grow your business and, get a solid customer base. But this one, like all painting franchises, is probably going to be pretty quick ramp up. You go through training. Like it says here, you can use subcontracted crews until you hire your own W-2 employees. So it's fast ramp up. They do allow for semi-absentee ownership, from day one. But this could be something where, like the case study, you need to hire somebody that's going to be really solid at these door-to-door sales. And then lastly, the high ticket price projects. So average job is $25K. For other painting franchises, I feel like we've seen anywhere from $5 to $10K per job size. So, this one is obviously whatever they're doing from a marketing perspective is working, and who they're targeting. I'd be curious to hear, do they turn down smaller size jobs? Do they have a minimum job threshold? Because that's a pretty high average ticket price there. But if you're interested in learning about Lime Painting, you can click here and go to www.franchiseempire.com/check territory. We can do a check and see if Lime Painting is available in your area. We always recommend kind of understanding your full criteria and seeing what you're looking for. And we could do a number of different brands, check on a number of different brands in your market. So, encourage you to go to the website and enter your information, set up a call with us, and we can better understand what you're looking for. But yeah, that one is Lime Painting. So lastly, I want to talk about the Franchise Empire Show, the episode number 60. So Tarek talks about how you can build a massive portfolio of franchises he has on a guest. His name is Nicholas Marco. He's built a franchise portfolio with 3 different franchise brands. So a lot of times we've talked about building, with our clients, we talk about building within the same brand and just adding more units. Or you can do that and then also add another brand and diversify your offering. Or you could also add a complementary brand and cross refer customers. So there's a lot of different ways to, scale within the franchising model. And it's interesting, what Nicholas has to say about what he's done. He's done a lot of Hand and Sewn franchises which is a massage and spa clinic. But then, he's added on a couple other brands here. So definitely check that one out. I mean, we like to hear those stories. We do have people that have come to us, and they're multi-unit brand owners in one brand, and they want to diversify and do something different. And that would be a good case study here and a good episode to listen to on how he was able to accomplish that. But I think that's it for this week. I don't see any questions or comments in the comments field yet. Give it a minute, but if anybody, again, if you're curious to hear about resales or territory checks, please go to our website, submit your information, and we can set up a quick chat with you to learn more. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of the week.